All right, guys. Well, I'm back today with an overview of a few different rail systems available from Midwest Industries for the MP5 series of pistols and SBRs. Now, I collaborated with Midwest on this video, so a huge shout out to these guys for supporting the channel and sending this stuff over. And Midwest Industries has really been a staple in the world of firearms for a very long time. They don't make junk, they're good quality, and they always come in at a very high value price point. They are definitely not the cheapest in the industry, but they are also not the most expensive. They make good quality products at great prices, and I've been using Midwest Industry stuff for a while, so it's really nice to collaborate with them on this particular video, especially with one of my favorite platforms in 2024 and 2025, the MP5 series of pistols. There are so many different offerings coming in the country from a wide variety of places, including HK MP5s, and a lot of times those rail systems leave a little bit to be desired, or they're just not practical for 2024 and 2025, and you need something like an M-LOK or even a pick rail version to suit your needs a little bit better. We're going to be discussing three main models, and then subscribe to the channel because we'll be doing update videos in the future, as well as taking a look at some of the new Midwest Industries brace offerings in the future. Now, the first rail system I was trying out is going to be this Midwest Industries Tri-Rail handguard, which has pick rails on the side and on the bottom, as well as M-LOK attachments located on the side. Sorry, not M-LOK, QD slots located on the side. Now, what really drew me to this one is there's a lot of different lights and laser aiming modules that I would want to put on an MP5, but they don't necessarily lock up on some of those polymer handguards that they ship with. This one gives you a ton of options, especially for those pick rail versions. And instead of just having that drop through pin that goes through the front of the MP5 handguard, these rock in and lock in the back like normal. And then you actually have a threaded screw that puts tension on the front, and then two set screws to adjust tension to lock up everything rock solid, to where you can truly start relying on these to hold zero. They are machined beautifully. The fit and finish is spectacular, and everything on the pick rail and QD slots work great. So if you're interested in the tri-rail version, this is going to be a really good option if you want some of that old school pick rail. Now, they also have that same version of the rail system, but an M-LOK, and we will be doing an addition to another setup in a little while with the M-LOK rail system, but I wanted to show you guys off of the firearm itself. You can see it's a lightweight design, yet incredibly rigid, and that cross-through bolt puts a little bit of tension right here and locks everything into place with that back lip. Now, the only difference between the tri-rail and the M-LOK is you're going to get a little slimmer profile, a little bit lighter weight, I believe, because this is going to be slimmer, but you get M-LOK everywhere you could possibly think of on this guy, allowing this to be insanely versatile with all the M-LOK solutions on the market. QD slots on the side, and an overall great quality. Now, the MSRP on a lot of this stuff is going to be right around 150 to 170, depending on what you're looking at. And one of the latest offerings from Midwest Industries that I've really fallen in love with is this brand new suppressor rail. Now, the suppressor rail is designed specifically to bury a suppressor underneath and to give you even more M-LOK and pick rail to attach lights and lasers and handguards and side covers and things like that. Now, a lot of times when you are manipulating an MP5, you're doing it from the side and you're doing it from the top. So a lot of times things can interfere and you can't necessarily put what you want right here, even on the opposing side, because you may be left or right-handed. This extends that rail system past the barrel, and this is on a actual HK MP5 22, but it mates up perfectly to the 22 as well as the standard 9mm, and you can help bury the suppressor underneath, as you see here, and still give you extra handguard room. This looks like a modern-day SD. I love the looks, but it's also very functional. Not only does it give you extra rail system, but it helps protect your handguard from the suppressor, or helps you protect your hands from the suppressor heat, and it spaces it out a little bit. Love the addition of that kind of monolithic M-LOK at the bottom, again, allowing you to put whatever you want, wherever you want. And that extra pick rail at the top is also nice as well. Now, this one locks in a little bit differently. It rotates and locks in into the back. You actually add a secondary piece that bolts through where that cross pin would normally be, and then you attach the rail via screws. All of the installation on the Midwest Industries product was very simple. I had no issues whatsoever. And that's what Midwest Industries is also good for. Not only do they produce quality products, but they produce things that are easy to put in without racking your brain, slamming your tools on the ground, swearing, and leaving the room. Now, another cool thing that Midwest sent out to the channel was their top optics claw mount that integrates this really slick M-LOK slot. I discussed earlier about manipulating firearms, especially the MP5, and how when you're doing that, things can get in the way, so it's hard to put something over the top. Well, Midwest figured out a solution, a very slim M-LOK rail system that locks up with the standard claw mount, allowing you to attach your optic, but also extend that out further, utilize a set screw that puts tension on and then up on the sight that locks this thing rock solid. Now you can do offset mounts with different lights and lasers hanging off the opposing side, yet still have plenty of clearance for your charging handle located on the side. And this one's been holding up zero great on top of this Mac 9mm. So hope you guys liked the video. Hope it gives you a pretty good overview of what Midwest Industry has to offer. If you're getting into the MP5 world, buckle up. It's fun. I love it, but you are going to have to defrost that credit card because a lot of these MP5s aren't cheap. Midwest Industry, though, makes a high value option that's going to replace those polymer handguards that most of these ship with ease, and they're going to do it at a good price. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Midwest for sending it out. Make sure you sub the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Have a good one.